What's going on, guys? It is the Wolf, the man in black. He himself is I am me, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Welcome to the Badwolf Unincorporated Hour. Well, it may not be an hour, but let's take a look. Now, before we get going, I just want to point this out. We are not against law enforcement. We are not against legal, lawful agencies. We're not against any individual here. We are not sovereign citizens here. We are Americans who, per the GPO style manual, are referred to as state citizens or nationals of the United States under 8 USC 1401. These would be private citizens in the private sector, non-political, non-belligerent, non-combatant. Same us, but we have a status and a standing by law. 8 USC 1401. A, national and citizen at birth within the United States of America. And these are two separate capacities. There's like a police officer in public capacity when he just got his, pew pew and his patrol car. And then there's him privately, private capacity, at home. We all have the same thing that they have, except for they have a badge. But when we're in private capacity, we are their boss. And in public capacity, we are their subject, property of the state, situs, situs. Now, with that being said, this is education and entertainment. Some of the information contained here, fair use, may have been taken out of context, but I want to show you guys a little bit about what some officers, and this is not the whole video, really think, and were busted out. Nothing in here shows or says that this was complete priority information or that it could not be recorded or anything like that. Once again, we are not condoning anybody to do anything against people in this video whatsoever. Fair use. But let's hear how, when some of us talk about how these agents, police, whatever else, what they have to say and what they really think about some of the people. And this is in an open forum, though it's in a private conference. Let's take a listen.
Linnell Griffith, and I'm running for House.
Hold on, that was the wrong clip. Well, it's a clip I just made in the previous video, so not a bad clip. That's where those people are trying to fight so that they don't bury our books. If you didn't see the video, where is my? Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. Let me get to the video. Okay, got it queued up. Let's get in this bad boy. Once again, everybody, just take a breath, believe in yourself, keep fighting, whatever you're going through. And I know everybody is going through something. Just keep going. Go one more day, breathe, have faith in yourself, reach out for support, financial assistance. If you guys need assistance with, a life coach or relationship coach, reach out to me. I also do these things. I just don't really advertise or make mention of them on here, but I guess I should. But keep going. All right. All right. So this is a private police seminar, and it exposes violent motives of cops. And some in within the whole video, which is on my TikTok. So shout out to Matt Schneider for sharing this information, public use, fair use, all that good jazz. Some information contained herein may be taken out of context. Once again, we are not against good blue wearing police officers, but understand a lot of them are wearing black, so they're Leos, legal enforcement officers. They've been militarized in many ways. It's also one of the reasons why a lot of times they don't hire smart people. I'm not saying this is a negative thing against my good cop friends out there, but one guy sued because he had passed the test, he aced the test, and they wouldn't hire him. And then he lost his court case because the court said they don't have to hire you if they don't want to, even if you are smart enough for the job. So he went on to say that and find that a lot of smart people were not hired. And why is it that the cops no longer wear the soft, peaceful color blue? A lot of them wear black because black represents the debtor, the dead corporation, the entity, just like the judges and whatever else. So for people who don't like black, generally some of them don't like blacks, but they all wear black. You would think the system doesn't, like blacks the way black people get treated generally, but now they're getting everybody. It's just some people, especially of color, they don't like. And that is somewhat conveyed in this video. If you watch the whole video, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's only a couple of excerpts. We're not going to try to, like I said, we don't try to bury anybody or any agency or anything like that, but we are here to bring this to your awareness. With that being said, this is back in October of 2021, and this is 1,000 officers or whatever else. I'm assuming mostly male and non of color because of the video, because they do talk about people of color. They do talk about women, so probably mostly male. And yeah, there's some disturbing stuff in here to a degree. I mean, not to me. I've heard this kind of talk before, but let's play the video so you can make your own judgment. We're not passing judgment here. Not condoning any violence to, for, against, etc.
Attended a private police training conference in Atlantic City. What we found was really disturbing.
I'm not going to guy report you like, oh, I am not a citizen of the United States under Act 12, 6, right?
So this guy, Dennis Benigno, okay, whatever, street cop training founder and CEO. So it doesn't say former cop or current cop or whatever, so we don't know. But this guy is putting on, and right up here where it says situs, S-I-T-U-S, this means property of. So when they say you're part of the city or you're part of the city's situs, that's what that means. So by living in the area, they're trying to say that you're basically a part of the city's membership as a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. Now, what I find funny here is this guy just said, oh, this guy had an ID. Either so this could have been a private ID or a Moorish ID or whatever else. So the guy was clearly trying to invoke his constitutional rights or his religious rights, which, as long as the guy was not doing anything criminal, stands as a fact of law and is superior to this chucklehead and what he was doing or what he's talking about here. Now, if he was committing a crime, then yeah, he should be prosecuted and whatever else. Like I said, we don't know the full story. So I can't waver to either side. But what I find funny is he says here that the guy starts quoting, his constitutional rights and federal law, statutes, and codes. Because that's all we have as a defense against somebody like you, who's, because if we pull out a pew pew or whatever, we get pew pewed and then and then it's a problem. And we don't condone that. Not here, at least. But you don't have the right to tell people to ignore people's constitutional rights, private rights, which are superior to your codes, even as an officer, as long as he's not doing any damage or inciting a public controversy or is doing something criminal. So, but we don't know the full story, what's going on. But to the people who recorded this, which must have been another police officer, undercover cop or FBI agent, we don't know, and made this public, thank you for that, because now we can see how they really talk. They're supposed to not be biased. When I was going to become a cop, and I didn't, but my friend went in and he did, they interviewed me and they interviewed him, and especially me, to make sure that I felt that he was not because he was white, is white, that he wasn't racist or this, that, and the other. But it seems to me, and that was like 20 years ago. It seems to me now like the standard is a whole lot like, well, less. And remember, one of the reasons why I do not go easy on cops who break the law is because these people are supposed to be the best of the best and chosen amongst their friends and family to be in a powerful position. So I do not feel bad if one of them gets busted for illegal FLOCK camera use or whatever else it is, because a lot of them for years, since the beginning of time, have been getting away with bullshit. And now, if you look up your historical facts, and some people may waver on this, but a lot of these police policy enforcers, this position was created for the runaway slaves. Seems like not much has changed in a degree. But if we look here at this guy's symbol, so he doesn't want this guy to have his federal rights, his constitutional rights, his private rights, right? And once again, we don't know the full story, but I find it amazing. We don't know the scenario, but the guy was trying to claim his rights. But we've got the American eagle here, which represents our rights. Kind of funny how you didn't want to let this guy have his rights, but you have the eagle here, which is about American freedom and rights. And if you know anything about the American flag, and this is supposed to be their version of the American flag, which is a mockery of the American flag, because this is a mutilation. You're not supposed to copy the American flag. And then what's funny is the American flag here is on a shield and it's put downward. This means peacetime. But when you take the American flag and you put it in different colors or mutilate it in this fashion, that's against the American lifestyle in a way. You're making a mockery of the flag. But anyway, let's keep going here. What else? Because like I said, and keep in mind, once again, nothing against this guy. We don't know the full story. We don't even know if he's a real cop, ex-cop, whatever, blah blah blah, just some schmo who created his own company. But I don't. If that's the case, I don't know why then cops are going to. So he must be retired or ex something. So, but let's go on.
Get pepper sprayed, tased, windows broken out, mother.
So the guy said the moment the guy tried to claim his rights, he tased and pepper sprayed him. Yeah, that sounds like you're upholding the American rights. But once again, we don't know if the guy he's talking about was real or fictionary, or if it was, the guy was committing a crime and then trying to use rights and freedoms that we teach here. We don't know. Okay, we have to be fair. Even though there are some bad cops, some sovereign cops out there. Okay, we have to be fair.
Start to get a picture of why cops.
But the reason why I bring this up is because these people, like this guy here and, whatever, they wouldn't have recorded this and put it up if it wasn't construed to be a violation. But once again, some people out there do cherry pick, just like there's people out there who cherry pick my information or freedom information and use it in a bad way, or they make their YouTube videos on me trying to, like, these stupid bald-headed bastard lawyers and enforcement agencies taking clips of me and then using them inappropriately. It's the same thing. They're cherry picking us, but the difference here, guys, is that we're not going to stoop to their level and say, look, they're all cops are bad. All these guys are bad trying to claim their rights to do it. No, we're better than that.
Cops behave the way they do when you see how they act behind closed doors and how they teach each other. Remember, the audience is interacting with all of this very positively, as far as I can tell.
And who are these audience people? If it's a private police seminar, so most of them either have to be cops, retired cops, military, or something like that. I don't see this being part of the general public, because the people in the audience, you can hear them clapping and like, yeah, along with some of these racist remarks and whatever else.
They denigrated women and racial and
So within the video, this guy, and once again, you can see the gold fringe on the American flag here. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what's going on here. But yeah, they denigrated women and racial and ethnic minorities. Once again, this is only a clip of the whole thing, but let's listen.
ethnic minorities.
That little boo nanny poontang, whatever the hell you call it. Okay.
So already this guy, former law enforcement, who now works for them, just disrespected some people's race and whatever else. But let's listen on.
There's an approach. You don't walk up and say, "Hi, what's your name? How old are you?" Sounds like casting couch, doesn't it?
They promoted a warrior mentality and glorified violence.
There's nothing else I'm good at.
Now, I don't want to, I'm going to let you be able to read what he says here. I don't want to play it for the YouTube censors. And once again, we don't know the full context, but this is some former or Army Special Forces guy. Okay. These people can be very scary who talk like this and then go into becoming officers. And a lot of times they hire these types of people because of their violent levels and their lack of listening to anybody but whoever is considered their commanding officer or their CO. That can be very dangerous when you've got somebody who doesn't listen or doesn't know the rights and doesn't want to listen to people. And don't get me wrong, I understand that there are tons of people out there who test their patience and energy every day, but that's what you're getting paid to do. If you can't do the job, don't do the job. So he says, I love bleep and love freedom. But you're willing to listen to other people talk about taking away other people's rights and freedoms in this seminar? And he says, like I'm bleep, bleep, bleep this guy. Then I'm going to take his in half. Then I'm going to boil his, and I'm going to drink out of that.
Just a while, west, south, wherever. You don't believe me? Run from Georgia State Patrol. Run from me. Somewhere along the chase becomes.
In October,
The difference here, keep in mind, we don't know the context of the whole thing in video. If anybody doesn't have the whole video, let me know. I believe I had it on my TikTok, so it might still be on there. That can be very disturbing to know that we're in a world with people like that, but that is the real world. So for people who never heard, Army or police or individuals talking like this is what they're teaching, and this is what people of their own, that type of mentality. Government, federal agents, where do we go for help against people like this that talk like this and that operate this way? Now, what I will tell you guys who watches these videos, you should be reporting them, even if it's anonymously, and other agents of law enforcement. Report these people to your internal affairs. I know you guys don't want to break the blue silence, cross the blue line, protect the blue line of secrecy and all that good jazz. Talk about the blue line, but then you don't wear blue anymore. And you're not acting as actors in the true blue American way. But keep my secrets if I do illegal or criminal or racist or derogatory, words, events, and actions. Report these people to the FBI. And yeah, sure, they don't move fast. Report these people to your attorney general, your Department of State, your governors, or you're part of the problem. Doing nothing and turning a blind eye is being on their team. You're complicit. You're an accomplice by your acquiescence. All I'm saying is that everybody should be careful out there. Here we are about nonviolence. And that's why I promote you guys learning what it is, learning how to move, and then doing your best to get remedy. But if you're in a position where you must protect yourself, do what you think is appropriate at the time. Have a recording, have your phone recording, have a vehicle camera recording, because that's where most people are going to have their interactions. You can be right, but if somebody with a might thinks they're righter, survive the scenario, sue them to go after them in court, financially, against their position, and whatever else. Because apparently there's the government's not going to swoop down and protect us. Nobody's going to jump in front with a shield when some rogue sovereign police officer or sovereign sheriff or whatever else is right there. These are your rights and your freedoms. And the law is on your side, depending on the event, depending on what you do. So be very careful. Make sure you know what you're doing. But if possible, survive through the event so you can live to tell the tale, so that you can go after those who are in the wrong, who do wear law enforcement uniforms and badges, can be dealt with by the very same system. The more you know. Take care of yourselves, travel safe. Woosah. And be smarter every day. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Talk to you later.